Table of Contents. Intro. Chapter 1. Building Blocks of Successful Blogging. Chapter 2. Can you lose money by not doing sponsored reviews? Chapter 3. Adsense. What is it and how do you use it? Forward. Let's face it. Business can be a fight, particularly when you're trying to establish one online. And like all fights, to succeed, you must find the winning techniques and apply them. We need customers and clients to discover us, love us, and keep returning for more. We as well know that the best businesses are authorities at branding. Who doesn't know the Nike commercials? What individual in the entire world doesn't recognize the golden arches? We sing along to radio jingles to a higher degree than we do the top 40 hits. So let's have a look at this subject. 4. Blogging success. Learning and getting inspiration from the best bloggers. 5. Chapter 1. Building blocks of successful blogging. 6. Synopsis. An acquaintance recently asked me if I would help her begin a blog. Her request inspired me to look at what I have acquired from operating my own blog for the past 2 years. 7. Steps to building a successful blog. An acquaintance recently asked me if I would help her begin a blog. Her request inspired me to look at what I have acquired from operating my own blog for the past 2 years. My initial proposition was to spend a while learning and reading. The World Wide Web is flooded with blogging data and advice. I am not the man to aid you in returning immense numbers overnight, but this data is all over. I am also not the source for technical points. I acknowledge what I ought to know for my situation, and I determine more as I require it. I assume I am like most individuals who release material on the internet. I classify myself as a small but serious blogger. I am also a big-time consumer of material and media. I follow many blogs in several niches, both for material and to learn what works. So based on my experience, what should I tell my acquaintance that'll get her set out without consuming her? Here is where I began. For me, blogging is basically a relationship. Two crucial components of any relationship are intent and association. Choose what you want to achieve. You are able to find dozens of high-quality direction about every aspect of arranging and controlling your blog, but none of it is one size fits all. Each choice you design, program, post length, style, depends on the ending goal you have. Conclusions that do not seem like a big deal now may become crucial later. 8. For instance, self-hosting with your own domain may feel like an unneeded expense, but it is crucial if your goal is to construct a personal brand or a business around your website. Remember that it is about your audience. Design should fit the blog's personality. An overly easy design might appear plain and undesirable, but the minimalist theme in reality sets the tone for her message and heightens the material. Everything matters. Every choice either moves you towards your goal or away from it. Personally, I do not pay a lot of attention to figures because traffic is not part of my objective. I consider and track analytics each month, but that is really more about curiosity. I seek trends, try out other ideas, and learn from my errors. I consider my site as a ring, and I think about appealing to readers who heighten the quality of the discussion. The point. My technique is deliberate and fits my total goal. Incidentally, my figures have more than tripled since the 1st of January 10. Information, expertise, and opinion are promptly available from an endless assortment of sources. I consistently follow writers and other bloggers to keep up with the trends and ideas of others. The things that are most important are consistency and legitimacy. Antics and tricks provide short-term spikes at the expense of long-term trust and loyalty. You may fool me into visiting, but I won't be back if you treat me like a fool. Beware of barriers. I appreciate concerns about spam and privacy, but balance those against the need for readers to connect. Make your commentary form friendly and inviting. With so many available forums, I'm likely to choose those that cater to my communication preferences. For example, some blogs force me to use my Google ID. Since I don't access my Gmail account, I'll never see. 9. Follow-up comments. Why bother composing a thoughtful comment? I know there are ways around that, but why should I have to do extra work to contribute to your blog? I find that many folks don't like to leave public comments, but they love more personal contact. If you don't want to provide an email address, consider creating a simple contact form. It seems obvious, but fewer barriers, more connection, and so more readers. That is what I offered as guidance to get her pointed in the right direction. What would you add? 10. Chapter 2. Can you lose money by not doing sponsored reviews? 11. Synopsis. What is the culture medium with the biggest advertising spending on the globe? Television. Television ads are so effective for advertisers and so lucrative for TV companies. Because viewer will inevitably pay attention to the advertisements. Would we be able to say the same things about content-based websites like blogs? 12. What are you losing money on? What is the culture medium with the biggest advertising spending on the globe? Television. Television ads are so effective for advertisers and so lucrative for TV companies, because viewer will inevitably pay attention to the advertisements. Would we be able to say the same things about content-based websites like blogs? Not exactly. If you consider Google AdSense or banner ads the most used monetization methods, you will conclude that they're practically different from the editorial content. For instance, if you have a blog and display ads on your sidebar, only your readers will be able to altogether brush off the advertisements if so they desire. A few even use ad blockers, so they will not see your AdSense units or banners regardless where you place them. What would the equivalent of a television ad be for a blog? Likely an advertorial, which is an article written by the advertiser about his product, and put up in the blog like an additional post. Another option is the sponsored reviews, which are posts published by the blogger critiquing a particular product or service. Most bloggers choose this example because they get to write the article content themselves, and readers will not be bothered with another writing style. Here's a fact that reinforces the similarity of sponsored reviews with TV advertisements. If you ask any advertiser whether he would like to pay for a banner ad or for a sponsored review, he will certainly say the sponsored review. Why? Because he will acquire a much better return on investment, as the sponsored review will give his product a better and greater kind of exposure with the readers of that blog. 13. As a result, a sponsored review is probably among the most lucrative way to monetize a blog. Last week one company offered me $1,000 to write a critique about its last product. It was related to my niche, and I was sure most of my readers would find it of value. This made me wonder, are most bloggers leaving money on the table by not doing sponsored reviews? For instance, if I started doing them on this blog, I could easily add another $4,000 per month in profits, considering one sponsored review per week, which would simply double up my advertising profit on the blog. I think this proportion is true for most bloggers. If bloggers started doing sponsored reviews, they'd double up their ad revenue. That being said, I think it's possible for a blogger to do sponsored reviews while keeping his integrity. There are three main requirements. 1. A clear disclosure on each review. 2. Honesty while writing the review. 3. The choice of products that is truly relevant and useful for the readers. Other people claim that sponsored posts could get you in trouble with Google, but this isn't true as long as you use the nofollow attribute on the links inside the review. Google does not have a problem with sponsored links, as long as you clearly label them as such. In essence, the question that's raised is, are your readers going to be put off by sponsored reviews, and whether or not you feel this a good avenue for your blog. 14. Chapter 3. Adsense. What is it and how do you use it? 15. Synopsis. Adsense is among the primary profit generators for blogs and sites. Usually you are able to drastically improve your click-through rate and total net by placing the advertisements wisely, by improving the material targeting, or by optimizing the ad units directly. Below I will cover the last point, how to optimize the AdSense units with 8 simple tips. 16. AdSense. What is that? AdSense is among the primary profit generators for blogs and sites. Usually you are able to drastically improve your click-through rate and total net by placing the advertisements wisely, by improving the material targeting, or by optimizing the ad units directly. Below I will cover the last point, how to optimize the AdSense units with 8 simple tips. 1. The 3 top performing ad units are 336 times 280 large rectangle, 300 times 250 inline rectangle, and 160 times 600 wide skyscraper. Think about using those units if possible, but bear in mind that other formats would be more appropriate for your site design. 2. The more successful link color is blue. This info is connected with the roots of the internet where all major sites use to feature blue links. 3. Aside from blue links, you are able to also use a link color that matches the pattern of your site, i.e., if you use green links, make the AdSense links of the same color. 4. As a general rule of thumb, blend no border, same background, your AdSense units if your site has a light color scheme and contrast, border, contrasting background, the units if you're using a dark color scheme. 5. If the advertisements are based within the content, you should avoid using borders, while advertisement units outside of the content can use borders to call attention. 17. 6. If your site has mainly repeat visitors like forums, you are able to rotate the background color of the units to cut back advertisement blindness. 7. Consider removing the "advertise on this site" message from your units. That can be done on the control panel under the My Account section, disabling the On-Site Advertiser Sign Up feature. 8. Test, test and test. Every website is unique, so make sure you test with different colors and formats and track the results to fine-tune your AdSense.